Today we kicked off an enforcement campaign called Southern Shield for the week of July 16th through July 23rd, focusing on speed enforcement. We know that July is a heavy traveled month. Also, it's a month that TDOT and GDOT works on the roads. So we want all citizens to be aware that law enforcement from all agencies will be out in full force to enforce the speed laws as well as other laws associated with driving. This mobilization was initially initiated by THSO regional office and incorporates 4 states, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. And as you see behind me that we have a great contingent of local, state, and our federal partners here from all the way from Washington, D.C. I also want to thank my counterpart from Georgia, as I'll introduce him again for a few remarks, but Harris Blackwood. When I became director about 8 months ago, one of the first people to reach out to me was Mr. Blackwood and offer his assistance, and we instantly had a bond. And I call him my friend, and if I need something or need some advice, Mr. Blackwood is the one that our Director Blackwood is who I call. So I want to say a special thank you to him. It is now my honor to introduce Dr. Maggie Gunnels. She is the Associate Administrator for THSO from the Washington, D.C. office to say a few words about Operation Southern Shield. Dr. Gunnels.
Well, thank you, Vic, and it's really my honor to be here in Tennessee, and I really applaud all the states participating in Operation Southern Shield. This is really a unique activity, a regional activity that really is looking to protect the lives of citizens in all these states, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, and I think even some other states such as South Carolina, and all the folks who are passing through these states as well. So this is a ramped up enforcement effort where law enforcement officials will address really important safety issues and especially speeding. And just a couple of things we absolutely know, and one is that speeding does cause crashes. And across the United States, speeding is involved in about 1/3 of all the crashes, and I think about that many individuals or lives are lost in this region as well for those very reasons. And we rely on the data to support our programs, but we always remember that when we talk about how many people die and all the numbers, that these are moms and dads, grandfathers, grandmothers, and children. These numbers aren't just numbers, they're people. And so we're really encouraging everyone to slow down. And I also want to especially thank our law enforcement colleagues here. They really save lives every day. They're out on the roadways. And I want to remind everybody that when you see them out working, trying to keep everybody safer, please move over and make sure they're safe too. So I congratulate you on this wonderful safety campaign, and I know that over this next week you're going to save lives. Thank you.
Now it's my distinct honor to introduce one of my favorite colleagues, Harris Blackwood, the Director of the Governor's Highway Safety Office in Georgia, to say a few remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Director Donahoe. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If we were about 200 yards down the road, I would say welcome to Georgia. But thank you for your gracious welcome to Tennessee. It's great to be here. Highway safety does not stop at the city limits. It does not stop at the county line, and it sure doesn't stop at the state line. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a commitment on both sides of this line. The only thing that stands between us is a line, and there's a commitment on both sides of it to save lives. If anybody thinks we're doing this to raise revenue, think again. We're trying to save your life. We want you to slow down and obey the laws of these 2 states and the other states who are participating in this. This is a way to get people to be careful. We want people to go and enjoy their holiday time, their vacation, and we want them to come back safely. We want them to arrive alive, and we want them to be able to come home knowing that they're not going to encounter people who are driving at high rates of speed. As of this morning in the state of Georgia, we've had 782 people killed on the roads of our state. That's about 1 every 6 hours. That means between now and the time you go to bed tonight, we'll probably have another person who's been killed on the roads of our state. We want that to come to an end. That carnage has got to stop. If we had a disease in one of these states that was killing 13, 14, 1,500 people a year, we'd be walking around with masks and gloves on. But ladies and gentlemen, we have an epidemic called highway traffic fatalities that we are going to do something about during these next few days and continuing on. It doesn't stop just at the end of this week. Hopefully we'll get some people to think better about their driving, get them to slow down. If you think it's about revenue, think again. All you have to do is back off and drive the speed limit. It's posted, it's there for you. Thank you to our good friends from the state of Tennessee for hosting us today. Thank you to the Tennessee Highway Patrol, to the Georgia State Patrol, and the local agencies that are represented here. God bless you, and may God keep you safe as you get out there and do this good work. Thank you very much.
Harris, thank you. It's also my distinct honor to introduce Lieutenant Bill Miller of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. He is the statewide public information officer for the Tennessee Highway Patrol, and he's going to state a few statistics based on fatalities and speeding-related fatalities.
Thank you, Director. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming out. First, let me say thank you to all of my fellow troopers and law enforcement officers on both sides of the state line that came here today. That really solidifies the commitment that not only Tennessee and Georgia have, but both of our governors as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to be up here and talk to you and browbeat you and tell you what not to do. We're all educated adults. We're all responsible drivers, I hope. Look to your family. Look to them and let them tell you what you need to be doing as a driver. We're only weeks away, months away from Christmas, believe it or not, in this temperature we're here today. Think about your Christmas and your holidays. If you're not there, how your family would react. Think about how you're going to react if one of your loved ones is not there. We have the power to prevent this carnage that's going out on these roadways today. Before I talk to you about numbers, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do as Tennessee Highway Patrol to address this issue of speeding. We will take an aggressive driving stance towards every hazardous moving violation in Tennessee, starting with speeding. If you're speeding, expect to be stopped by a Tennessee State Trooper in Tennessee. Not only on I-75, but on all of Tennessee's roadways, whether it be an interstate, a county or city highway, or federal highway. We'll have zero tolerance for speeding, aggressive drivers, driving distracted, and those drivers who are driving under the influence of any intoxicant. In 2012, there was 146 people killed in Tennessee who were killed directly from speeding, speed-related crashes. In 2015, that increased to 158. That's an 8.2% increase in such a very short period. In 2017, year to date, there's 526 people today who have been killed on Tennessee roadways. That's a number that's trending in the wrong direction, but last year, the only positive to that is that we're 18 fewer people killed now, this year compared to last year. I tell you those numbers, and I tell you one number that is important. That's one too many. One fatality on Tennessee roadways is not acceptable. We ask, we implore that you please do the responsible thing, drive responsibly, do the right thing, and back off the accelerator and slow down. Colonel Tracy Trott, our commander, he sends his regrets that he cannot be here today due to prior engagements. But Colonel Trott is strictly steadfast behind this initiative. He sends this message to all Tennesseans to slow down and arrive alive and be safe in Tennessee roadways. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Again, it's my honor to introduce the captain of the Troop A from the Georgia State Patrol, Captain Stoltz, for a few comments.
On behalf of Colonel Mark McDonough and the command staff of the Georgia State Patrol, we're asking all travelers throughout the state and our residents of the state of Georgia to please observe the posted speed limit. That is the law. You'll find during this operation and travel season between now and throughout the new year for troopers to be firm but fair. We've talked about speed this morning. 1,531 people died on Georgia's highways last year. Between 2012 and 2015, we saw a 48% increase in speed-related fatalities. Look for troopers to be firm but fair. Look for special operations with our Tennessee partners, with our municipal partners, both city and county. Where speed really comes into play is time and distance. At 55 miles per hour, you're traveling 80.6 feet per second. If you do the simple math on that, in 3.7 seconds, you've traveled the length of a football field, 100 yards. Stand on a football field and look from goalpost to goalpost with the season just around the corner, and think about that distance you travel. And then think about driver reaction time. That's about 1.5 seconds, and you've just traveled 120 feet. If you're too close to that car in front of you and you're exceeding that speed limit by any at all, you've just been involved in a collision. We ask for your cooperation. We ask for you to drive safely. We ask for you to use our STAR GSP call and report violators to us. Thank you.
Thanks, Captain. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let me say thank you to the media. Thank you to our Tennessee law enforcement liaisons, the Governor's Highway Safety from Georgia. Also, thank you to all these partners, but the main partner that I asked compliance is voluntary compliance from our motorists. That's the most important partnership we can have as law enforcement officers and law enforcement advocates, safety advocates, is compliance, voluntary compliance from our motorists. At this time, that concludes the press conference. We'll take